Hello and welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. If you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching this on the replay, you're guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join us live, go ahead and click that description link below. You'll see all of the regular days and times that I stream here on YouTube. It's 5 times a week. Same days, same times. If you want to know about any additional pop-up streams, especially around holidays or specific astrological movements, go ahead and click the subscribe and notification bells and you won't miss an opportunity. If you are here live with us, go ahead and click that live chat button and feel free to request any specific healing that you feel you could use. It could be something really general, really specific, anything that you feel comfortable sharing in a very public forum, certainly. And we are going to start off by building a beautiful crystal grid together, exactly to the specifications and requests of everyone here. If you are interested in my community, in my Reiki certification classes that are online, they are linked in the description below, as are my community Discord, social media, and crystal shop. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Thanks again for being here. And I already started off a little bit of the crystal grid for us. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, so here we go. So we have some nephrite jade in the middle, which is, it's sacred to peoples in China and in South America. We have good fortune, harmony, blessings. This is good for family, for your romantic life, for your professional life, blessings all around. The copper spiral here, this helps to get the energy moving, break up any blockages. We have our usual citrine here. This helps to call in abundance for us so that we can call upon any kind of financial abundance or any other kinds of needs that we have. We also have peridot, which a lot of us have been working with lately, and it seems kind of timely. This is fantastic for breaking up old patterns and cycles that are kind of getting in our way. So if you're breaking any habits or anything, this can be great. This also helps to support and even bring up new opportunities for friendships around the positive cycles in your life. So as you grow, you can find folks that will help harmonize with that with you. We also have some smoky quartz. Protective, helps to get the energy moving and transmutes energy really, really well. So we have that here. And yeah, so let's dive right in. I see a lot of us are already here putting in intentions. If you are new here, know that you can pop in either the request that you have, say, by the intention, or you can request specific stones, and I'll do my best. I'm happy to select stones for you too, whatever feels better to you. Let's see who we have. So we've got Highland Love, Key, Chris, Susan, Future Someone, good to see you. And Greg, wonderful. Bethany, good to see you. Blue Sky, Prudence Jane, wonderful to see all of you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So intention, staying centered during times of change, better sleep each night, stones pre-night, tourmalinated quartz, and selenite. Oh, I love it. Absolutely. I hope everyone is doing well this very odd week between Christmas and New Year. I know it's like it sneaks up on us every year. It's like all this introspection and pressure to like hurry up and come up with some kind of plan to make everything better by next year. And that's why we all rush into the resolutions that don't stick. We don't have enough time to like decompress from the race to the holidays. So I just put out an email. I'll put it up as a blog post and I'll link it on the social media. Some things to keep in mind, not to get stressed out or caught up in that sort of, oh my gosh, we have to change everything right away. It's almost like we have to hurry up and make all these decisions and commitments by a few days from now, or else it just won't happen. It won't come true and the whole next year's a wash, and that's just not true. So there's definitely some pointers. You can also link to my, if you like getting emails, you can link to the description below for my email list. But like I said, I'll put it on the social media. I'll link it onto the social media tomorrow. But yeah, it's a little bit of a staying centered in times of change, I think, is a really beautiful way to kind of take this particular week in time, well, anytime, but especially this particular week in time. So definitely better sleep each night. There's a couple of good ones for that. Let's see. Staying centered during change. There are quite a bit. Well, let's bring in the selenite first. So selenite, this reflects nothing but pure white light, and as such, it's actually really useful and phenomenal for clearing the energy of stones. I use this really often to clear the energy of my stones. I don't really light so much incense or anything like that. This works really well. I just place my stones on it for a couple of hours and it helps to clear that energy. But this can clear your auric field, your space that you're in, and it's very simple to keep around. But yeah, high vibrational stone. So I'm going to go ahead and we will bring that. Kind of want to do something a little different. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, so we'll start there. So there's a lot of different crystals for times of change and being present. The first one that popped into mind is a stone that I know is going to come up anyway because it's been something that harmonizes with a lot of the requests we've been having, and we all seem to be requesting similar things around the similar times since this started on Zoom over a year ago. The first one is garnet. So this is definitely finding balance and strength, but also particularly that strength and groundedness during times of change. It helps us to prioritize. It helps us to come up with the game plans, get things done in a really efficient way, and use our energy wisely, while also giving us some courage and creativity and organizational skills. It's a very Capricorn stone. It's great for those times of change to be stabilizing, grounding, and kind of supportive during those times, making the most of, okay, things are changing. What do I have to do to handle this? So a lot of stability. But also if you're starting a project, if you're starting a business, if you're undertaking something new, this can be a really helpful stone. I also want to bring in honey calcite. During times of change, we can get a little bit like frightened, scared, thrown off our game, and that's pretty regular, I think, for most folks. I mean, it's scary to start something new, isn't it? So this is honey calcite. This really helps with optimism, especially in times of change. So when things are shifting all around us, it can be really frightening. We don't necessarily think in terms of, oh yay, I'm going to keep going towards this new, better change all the time. There's always this like, okay, things are unstable, so it's going to trigger me to feel a little uncomfortable and maybe worry about it. This helps with keeping your spirits up. It's also helpful for attracting good colleagues, friends, even love interests, if that's your intention. So it can be really helpful in like, okay, all this is shifting. I want the people that are coming into my life to be, highest caliber. So we'll bring this in. Better sleep each night for sure. We're also going to do pre-night. And let's see who else is coming in here too. Heart, hi. Good to see you. Maria, wonderful to see you too. I don't have morganite, and I don't think I have something that can work for spirit quartz. Spirit quartz because I've heard different terms given to it. Usually when I've seen spirit quartz, it's a very, very small crystalline, like as if these were very, very small, and it just looks almost like glitter on the stone. Is that what you're asking for spirit quartz? Like, because basically that's new crystalline growth, and so there is some inside of this. So let me know if spirit quartz is like the very small beginnings of crystals. So, but no, I don't have morganite. I do have kyanite. Or not kyanite. I have pink kunzite, which sometimes can be really helpful in its place. So sorry, back to better sleep each night. I really like labradorite for that. In addition, it helps with joy in travel, and right now a lot of people are having a lot of anything but joy in travel, so we'll try to bring this out. This is helpful for everything from calming disputes to better sleep, clairvoyance, but also grounding that clairvoyance and being able to see all of the moving pieces of what's in front of us, being able to study, to focus, to see the patterns and the full picture of all the information that's in front of us. But we're calling it in this particular case for better sleep. So this can be very, very helpful. We also have, and labradorite, by the way, it's related to moonstone. They're essentially very similar, almost the same stone. They're very, very close to each other. And moonstone is very much connected with the cycles and rhythms of nature. So we still do get quite a bit of that vibe here too. And that's like circadian rhythm and your sleep cycle. So hopefully that will help. And I'm just looking for prehnite. Prehnite helps with facilitating any kind of new lessons, like spiritual lessons, whether we're teaching or learning. So it could be a structured class or learning on your own. It also helps with kind of stopping your mind from racing, especially when it's involving meditation or energy work. And it can help with lucid dreaming, with getting those images and understanding what's going on in meditation, spiritual work, even shamanic journeying. So I really like it for that. And because it helps to facilitate those spiritual lessons, but also gives us kind of a mental focus, I feel like it can be really helpful during a lot of times that we're working with spiritual energy. So that's prehnite. And you were also looking for tourmalinated quartz. And this is another one that has some strong indications for travel. This is very protective during travel. It's thought to really protect travelers. Also moonstone, and I know a lot of people traveling are so having a hard time. So this is also known to break up everything from scars and lesions, whether it's on the skin, internally in the body, or emotionally, or in terms of how we think. If we're kind of stuck in this emotional loop, this can be very helpful. It's also particularly helpful for breaking up patterns, like old patterns and things, especially from childhood, things that were kind of absorbed through childhood, for lack of a better way to put it. Helps with grounding and releasing not so great energy. It's black tourmaline going through clear quartz, so it does help to like purge and clear and break things up. It also can be really great for good fortune, good luck, and especially for finding new revenue streams, whether it's something passive or like a side gig or anything like that. This can help you find new ways of earning. So I love it for all of those things. Can be really helpful for finding a good place to live too. So we'll bring that in. I'm so glad that you're here. So glad that you're here. Sammy, welcome in. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear. Oh, hey Jennifer. So sorry to hear about more people with COVID. So far I've had 3 clients this month that have all had to cancel or reschedule their appointment because they've come down with COVID. It's so sad. Head cold relief, Mercury retro protection, absolutely. That starts like tomorrow, so we're already feeling it. Okay, absolutely. So thank you, Blue Sky. Let's see. Literary agent, craft fair suited to you. Yeah, that's always the trick, is finding the fairs and festivals that like kind of match your niche. Absolutely. Boundaries, effective communication, and family issues. Oh, it's Patty and Key watching today. Also for Cora Carr's family, friends, and Vincent. For your kitty familiars. Joie de vivre. Okay, cool. Oh, good. Frank is feeling better. He was moved to a rehab facility. I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, it's still quite a road ahead, but that's a big step in the right direction. Wonderful. Okay, good. So let's see what we got so far. So finding the right space for your things. Definitely the honey calcite helps with like attracting the right people in the right places for you. I'm also going to bring in, let's see. We have citrine, and definitely gonna bring in cinnabar. This is a stone that has long been associated with calling in customers, and it's considered the merchant stone. But we know a lot more about it now. It's very toxic. It's mercury. So these little red speckles inside of this are the actual cinnabar. So if you look up pictures of cinnabar, what you'll see is usually just straight up red, and that's just straight up mercury. But for the sake of not wanting to touch it very often, I have this piece. I also have this piece. So this is mercury, but here it's got enough of a stone for me to hold on to it without actually touching the mercury so much. But yeah, it's considered the merchant stone. It's definitely been used for hundreds, if not thousands of years to call in customers. But do not put it in water and drink it. No direct water infusions with that one. We've also got, we'll bring in some pyrite. I've also been bringing in pyrite for Cora Carr's mom for calling in abundance as well. Fool's Gold brings in the real gold. It also brings in intuition and protection energies. It does help with fever. It's had a long established link with helping folks with fever, as well as help with the brain and memory, which is something that we had a request from Vincent on, as well as just in general helping the energy to flow and move, especially linked with Reiki. So we'll go ahead and bring this in. There we go. So Fool's Gold brings the real gold. It's an easy one to remember. We've also got oh yeah, absolutely. I can put the amethyst there. And I just want to make sure. Let's see. Glad to hear that the animals are getting along, Bethany. That's wonderful to hear. We'll continue that. We'll bring in some leopard skin jasper. This helps with healing animals, also with attracting soulmate. But it's fantastic for anything having to do with the skin, especially if it has to do with like parasites and things like that. Also coordination and balance. So if you have difficulty with like vertigo, this is a good stone, as well as lapis, but this is leopard skin jasper. So anything having to go on with animals or with skin when I was fostering my cats, two of whom have now become my cats, when they were fosters, when I took them in, I was clearing them of ringworm. So I used this stone a lot. I had it hidden all over my bathroom where they were quarantined, and I had it tied up in bags along the ceiling because it helps skin and animals. So it seems like the perfect combo, right? Yeah, absolutely love this stone. Let's do here and here. So I hope that helps them getting along. And we've also got, I'm just so glad that they're getting along. Kitty's still afraid of Pup, and in time they'll be okay. But I'm so glad to hear that. Let's see, literary agents, the buyer's boundaries too. For the literary agent too. So let's see. What do we want to use for that today? I know we usually use Herkimer. Let's use Herkimer. This helps definitely with being in the present moment. So definitely during times of change. So Blue Sky, this is definitely for you. This is also for anytime we're manifesting or asking the universe for something. This helps with our intuition, but also with connecting us to spirit. It's a bit of a two-way street. It's not quite as metaphysical and high intuitive as Chevron Amethyst, but similar in that way. When we're requesting something from the universe and manifesting, this is a stone that can take what we're asking for and help put the vibe out there that we want to get what we're asking for in a way that is the most harmonious to all involved. So the people, places, and things that this manifestation touches, and that it will be the best arrangement for everyone involved. So it's a really beautiful way to help bring in that energy when you're manifesting something. Actually, here, let's do this. Great for metabolism as well. There we go. Herkimer diamond. Also helps to harmonize disharmonious energy, which can help with the family stuff too. Effective communication and family issues. We used blue tiger eye last time, and I feel like we want to bring that in again. Blue tiger eye is very calming and very protective, and specifically very protective of, like, it's a very holidays family kind of stone. This is protective of the truth tellers, the people who say the truth, and, you know, especially when people don't want to hear the truth or don't like the truth. This is a very facts over feelings kind of stone. This is also great for, I usually think of it as like the whistleblower stone, the truth teller stone. It's a don't shoot the messenger stone. It does aid communication, especially when you have to like push things a little bit or push a boundary a little bit to like say what needs to be said, but also helps with writing, public speaking, anything that where you need like a big powerful oomph of the throat chakra and of being able to convey a message. So this is really helpful. So powerful, bold communication. So I want to bring that in not only for the family stuff, but also for Greg, because so much of what he's doing is based around the writing and bringing the writing out. So I feel like that can be really helpful. For, let's see. Oh, let's see. And for family issues, let me see what everybody else has. Highlight. So Maria, that blue tiger eye is really going to be helpful for you. Speaking your truth. Had cold relief. Yeah, you're welcome, Bethany. Okay, cool. Let's do... For family issues, I'm going to go ahead and bring in... I feel like carnelian. Carnelian is a good bet. I did see a request in there for love and finding soulmate, spiritual partnership, and carnelian is excellent for that. Anything having to do with calling in a spiritually connected mate or any kind of sexuality, relationships, romance, anything like that. This is very connected with the sacral chakra, also very connected to fertility, which I did see a request in there for. This is one that I often think of like, yes, it's fertility, it's sexuality, it's romance, it's finding your partner, but we often forget that the sacral is not just about those things. It's also about how we relate to each other in a very fundamental human community kind of way. In that regard, this is a powerful stone with coworkers, colleagues, families, roommates, teammates, anything like that. This helps people to better relate to each other, to see, okay, here is me, here's what I have to bring to the table. How can I best work with these other people and what they bring to the table? So it enhances collaboration and working together. It can be really powerful for that. It's also helpful for if you're feeling apathetic and kind of like lazy, like you just can't get up. It's one of those stones that can help awaken that energy. Polychrome jasper and bumblebee jasper are also really powerful for that. But let's bring this in because this actually answers a lot of the requests that I'm seeing. So that's carnelian. And we've got, yeah, I hope that that helps. And that can also really help boundaries. This, as well as honey calcite, can very much help that. And you're welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello. Calling back the kitty familiars. Yep, we have Jet. This helps to call upon animals that are missing or lost or have run away. It's also fantastic for grief. This is a stone that is usually through volcanic activity fossilized wood. So that means usually fossilized wood is something that takes a long time after the tree dies to slowly turn to stone. Not the case with Jet. It's like a flash, something really hot, and it happens very quickly. And with that, it's very, very helpful for things like grief. It allows us to come to terms with this sudden, shocking change, an end of one thing, and now I'm another. It helps us to be present with the grief without being completely overwhelmed or shut down, so that we can actually begin to have some fruitful processing of what's going on. So this also helps, like I said, for calling lost animals back. So I'm going to bring that here. Actually, you know what? I'll bring it here. And here. It's another stone we've been working with quite a bit. And grief is certainly, you know, it's always a thing that some folks are going through, but particularly around the holidays, it just really heightens it. It can be really, really difficult. Ah, snowflake obsidian. Ooh, yep. Oh, good stuff. Oh, I love the requests coming in. Turning up the volume? Absolutely. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, let me know if that's a little better. And I'm also going to turn down any background music. So I think that that'll be better. Let me know. Thank you for asking. Okay, cool. So let's definitely bring in some iolite. I see some requests for losing weight, and iolite can help with that. This can also help with blue sky with getting better sleep, especially if the sleep disturbances are related to energetic and spiritual stuff. This can help kind of ground that a little. I know Cora Carr has been working with Psychopomp, which is visionary connection with your spirit guides, or shamanic journeying would be another way to put that. This stone can help us to better experience those visions in a much more clear way. It's also helpful for fever as well, and money management. And like, out of all of those, can't we all use one or two? So let's bring this in. We end up using this stone in almost every grid for that reason. It does so many things so well. We also have, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, we're off to a good start. So Joie de Vivre, I think today I want to move on from yellow calcite unless somebody specifically requests it. And I'm feeling the energy of polychrome jasper. Polychrome jasper helps to give us energy and kind of like a really supportive kick in the pants when it comes to acting out our soul's purpose and our soul's mission and getting into life and getting back to life. So it comes in a number of colors, a wide array of colors. And that's actually why it's like kind of polychrome. It sounds like many different colors, and it is. But yeah, very energizing. It helps to take that sort of rooted, earthy groundedness and adds a little bit of fire to that so that we can start to feel the energy move and want to get back to things. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that around. So glad to have you here. I have a big piece of tumbled polychrome jasper in the next room. I love working with that stone. Awesome. So glad you are here. For Frank and for your sister Nana. So Frank, we want to bring in the blue kyanite. This helps with stroke recovery if it impacts speech and mobility particularly. It's also helpful for accepting ourselves exactly as we are. So it's another good stone that's a remedy to the existential crisis that is right after Christmas and right before New Year's. Oh my gosh, I have to change everything. Yeah, this is a good stone to just say, I accept myself for exactly who I am. And from that place, you feel empowered to make changes and not like you have to. It's also helpful for understanding any kind of intuitive messages that we get, whether it's dreams, mediumship, tarot cards, whatever it might be. So it's a very, very useful stone for many different reasons. So we'll bring that in. So blue kyanite. And Amazonite we're going to bring in again for your sister Nana. This is a stone for caregivers as well as anyone who is struggling with nerve issues, particularly the spine and the nerves that come off of the spine. So sciatica, things like that, but also issues of the actual bones and things of the spine. So spinal stenosis in this case, or if you have any kind of disc issues or things like that, or even sciatica, which is a nerve issue, this can be very helpful. It's also good for caregivers in that it helps to remind caregivers, which is so many of us, that it's important to give that care back to ourselves, that we are just as worthy of and deserving of that love and that tender love and care as the people we treat with that love and that tender love and care. So often we can be focused outwardly. It reminds us that we are absolutely worthy of that within and that we need to prioritize our self-care so we can keep going. Definitely self-respect is a healthy thing. So this is definitely for Vincent as well. And again, this is Amazonite. It comes in a lot of different colors, sometimes a darker blue with white stripes, sometimes this like very pale blue. Okay, so that's Amazonite. Also helps in general with calming, especially nervousness, smoking cessation, and fertility. We have Unakite. Great for both of those, and in general, anything having to do with women's health, hormones, metabolism, and even good relationships and marriage. So we'll bring that in. Yeah, this is the one that's thought to be very helpful for any kind of addiction recovery, but particularly smoking. It's like when people talk about like what crystal helps me quit smoking, it's oftentimes this one is the one that's given credit. It's a very earthy, grounding, loving stone too, and it's really pretty. So we've got that there. And Kundalini Awakening, we have aragonite and blue Caribbean calcite. Aragonite helps us to open the lower chakras, our connection to our soul's purpose and acting upon it, as well as our soul star, which is our awareness of our spiritual path and envisioning it so that we can start to walk in that direction. So it's also balancing of the root chakra and the crown. Because it does that, it allows the energies between those two places to flow much more easily, particularly impacting the Kundalini energy, which lies coiled and dormant at the base of your spine. When able to flow freely and move, that energy rise is a Kundalini awakening. That can be a lot to handle. It can be, it's really essentially an expression of enlightenment. It can be a lot to handle, and it can be scary and a little bit taxing, and also really difficult to start to get used to the sensation of. This can be very helpful with balancing that flow and getting more used to it, and rather than it being off on, being a little bit more smooth. So we'll bring this in. So that's aragonite with Caribbean blue calcite. They're both calcites. And stress, anxiety, red tiger eye, lapis, amazonite, mahogany obsidian. So we've got amazonite, lapis. Here we go. Red tiger eye is incredibly protective, whether it's interpersonal things, bullying, triangulating, gaslighting, those kinds of things, all the way up to like malevolent spiritual work. This can be protective against all of it. Also great for calling in financial resources in like a hurry. If you're really in a spot, this can be very helpful. So we will go ahead and maybe bring these in. Lapis is blue with some flecks of pyrite, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Lapis helps with trust, honesty, integrity. This is one that I think could help with Susan and Greg's manifestations too. It helps with career, moving up in career, and it helps with also with pain and inflammation regardless of the cause. Like I said before, balance, things like vertigo. But it's a stone of integrity, and it helps to, if you're setting an intention to live in your own integrity and acting your own integrity, and you want to, and or wanting to attract others who act in that way, lapis is a particularly wonderful stone. So let's see. Mahogany obsidian. All obsidian is glass, essentially, but natural glass. It's a glass that is generally formed through volcanic activity, much like jet would be. And what mahogany obsidian does is it helps us with our attachment to perfectionism, if that becomes an obstacle to getting things done, if it becomes an obstacle to moving forward. A lot of times we can internalize, whether through childhood influences or relationships later in life, that we have to be perfect. It has to be perfect, or it's not worth anything, and it reflects poorly on us, and we just feel paralyzed by that idea of it having to be this caliber of something that usually doesn't exist. And that, and even so for folks who struggle with feeling like they need validation from someone, that this is a stone that helps you feel a little less reliant on that validation, because sometimes those people that hold that position where they can say like that's a really good job would maybe not say it anyway, and it's really not a reflection on you, but we internalize that kind of thing. This is a great stone for a done something is better than a perfect nothing, and also not attaching ourselves to a concept of perfectionism or attaching ourselves to the validation of something we have done and created in a work environment. Really helpful for a lot of holiday type things because of that, family type stuff. Helps with a lot of freedom to like live life on your own terms, deciding what you feel is appropriate and not what everyone else would think is quote unquote perfect. We also have, so that's all of those. We got a Aragonite, Galena Garnet Sunstone, absolutely. So orange sunstone helps us to greatly expand our vision of who we can be. This is like a great balance stone to go with mahogany obsidian, actually. This helps us to say all of those limiting beliefs we have about ourselves that we basically steamroll right past them. We're looking for the highest possible version of what we can be and bring that in so that we, rather than selling ourselves short with our goals, this helps us to lift that goal, still to something that's attainable, but by seeing ourselves in a new light. Perfect for New Year's, perfect for any time, but especially New Year's. And Galena, we were talking about yesterday, that it worked really well for intuition and things, and I completely forgot the beautiful conversation we had along, because that was actually my first time hearing new ways to work with Galena. I've always worked with Galena as deeply calming, relaxing, and rejuvenating. But Galena is a form of lead. So today I wanted to go ahead, and since this is a stone that I've had for a long time, but I've only used it in one way, and I'm just getting used to using it in a different way, I wanted to look it up and take in some insight from a different author. So I'm going to take a peek. I believe I found it in here last night. There we go, Galena. So this is a book I highly recommend. Philip Permut. So this is The Crystal Healer by Philip Permut. There's also a volume 2 that's astounding. So he uses Galena he also uses it for inflammation and things like boils. Grounding and centering, self-limiting ideas, beliefs, and antisocial behavior. I can see where that's kind of a thing. It is very grounding. It is physically heavy. It has lead in it. It's very, very heavy. Definitely do not put this in water and drink it. Not what you need. It's one that can help us, just like I mentioned with the orange sunstone we just talked about. Sometimes we need to like burst past those limiting beliefs and kind of see what's the biggest possible thing in the future. Galena is one that helps us to root out the beliefs that we have, whether it's something that someone told us and we internalized, or something we've always believed about ourselves for any reason. This helps us to work out those beliefs that get in our way. So I love it for that. Yeah, he also uses it for circulation, the olfactory system, and inflammation in general, which is not something that's what I really was interested in last night, that I was like, I haven't heard that before for this stone. So thank you for requesting it yesterday and today. I love learning new stuff about stones. Garnet we have, sunstone we have, obsidian we have, mahogany obsidian. I'm gonna bring in black obsidian. So this also helps with, I think it was, let me see, I think it was Bethany. Yeah, Bethany, with the, oh, awesome. And good to see you, JS. This is something that can be really good for nervous dogs, also nervous cats, but grief, protection, and processing trauma. And this is black obsidian. And we're going to put that out here. And I feel like we got all of that there. Thank you for being here, Highland Love. We have pink kunzite, and this may have some other stones within the specimen as well. Pink kunzite can be very high vibrational, and that's why it makes me think of morganite so much. But kunzite can really open and enliven our heart center. It's such a high vibrational stone. I feel like it's connected to like the crown and the heart, helping to balance us with collective consciousness, with all that is an abundance of compassion for ourselves and for others. And I absolutely love it for a heart stone. So let's see. I might put that here for now. We'll see how it goes. So I'll bring that in there. And spirit quartz, you wanted the piece of amethyst. So amethyst is another one that can really help with sleep. Absolutely. Also for smoking cessation, this has a lot of linkage to helping addictions, recovery, and anything like that. But also in general, opening up to spirituality, having a bit of an open heart, connecting to spirit in a way that feels a little bit more safe and secure for you, and for being kind and gentle on yourself while you do any kind of self-improvement, if you want to use that term. So I feel like for New Year's, this helps soften that, like, oh, I need to fix everything kind of vibe that gets pushed out. So yeah, let's put this in. We also have, peridot in, iolite in. We have herkimer. We have blue kyanite. We have aragonite and blue Caribbean calcite. So let's do rutilated. Often linked with supporting folks as they go through their cancer journey, which very much is in support of Cora Carr's stepfather. This is one that helps to give us energy, as well as help restore our energy after having been sick or run down. So this will definitely help with Jen with the cold. This is also one that's thought to help focus the mind and help improve the mind-body connection, as well as direct healing exactly where it needs to go. Let's do right there. We also have blue sapphire, aqua aura. Aqua aura is a stone that has been processed in a man-made process. It's actually been put through a process using gold, and it gives it this blue tint. This is thought to be really helpful for depression and seasonal affective disorder, and a lot of us that struggle with that have found this a nice, helpful, complementary stone when we're struggling with that, and all the different ways that we take care of ourselves in that regard. So I find it helpful in addition to all the other things that I do. So let's see. I'm gonna put that here for now, and we'll see where that ends up. Sapphire is intensely helpful for intuition and connecting, especially if you're doing something like mediumship. It helps you to connect with your spirit guides. It helps you to get the messages through. If you're going to be transcribing a message, like you're doing a reading for someone or channeling for someone, blue sapphire can help you better translate from the spiritual sort of influx of info, but also then translating that to the folks that are receiving it. So if you struggle with that being in the middle of a translation, this is a stone that can help. It is a very intensely strong stone, so I strongly recommend that if you're going to use it for intuitive work, either have a really good grounding practice or use some grounding stones. Let's actually do... There we go. Okay, so that's sapphire. I want to try to get to as many as I can. Let's do some hematite for grounding. And ametrine. So hematite is intensely grounding, and it helps to clear and purify from within on an energetic level. So anytime that we're like shifting into a new vibration or out of old habits, limiting beliefs, and not so great cycles, this can help move that energy out and connect it to the earth so we can kind of leave it behind. It's also helpful, like when I said, hey, grounding could be helpful for something like really intense spiritual work with sapphire. This is one of those stones that helps us to release that energy back into the earth. And ametrine, let's swap you around. Ametrine, we already talked about the spiritual connection of, or the spiritual attributes of amethyst and citrine. Ametrine brings them both together, as the specimen actually has a little bit of both. They form next to each other under the ground. It helps to take the attributes that we talked about with amethyst and the ones with citrine, bring them together and bring them to a much more exalted, higher spiritually significant place. It's an absolutely wonderful stone. Finding true ametrine can be a little bit harder. Same reason that it's harder to find true citrine. A lot of it is just kind of baked. If it's bright yellow, it's not real. If it's sort of an orangey brown like this is, it's probably the real deal. I'm going to put that here. We've also got some love for my cats too. Absolutely. I've got one asleep at my feet right now and she is loving it. Something for fear and also to release energy of your husband and kids. Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the red tiger eye for fear. Let's see. Celestite. Here it is. Celestite can help with discerning our thoughts from our fears, which can be really helpful. It also helps to connect us with our angels. So it helps with physical pain as well. It also helps us to feel the support of our angels, as well as if you're specifically asking them for help or guidance, it can help facilitate a better and stronger connection with them. So absolutely love it. It's good for higher wisdom and just in general, working with the upper chakras and connecting with your angels. So yeah, this can help with fear for sure. And for clearing energy, we have smoky quartz, which is a great one. We have tourmalinated quartz, which is another great one. I'm going to bring in some Dalmatian jasper too. Dalmatian jasper it's basically black tourmaline running through jasper. And as such, it basically helps to clear our energy field. So this helps to clear the energy that we've absorbed from other people and the energy that we're putting off and releasing so that we can keep clearing that and moving forward and not be sort of held back by the energy that's sort of stuck to us, whether it's ours or someone else's. So let's go ahead and bring this in. piece here, a piece here. Clearing the whole outer edge. I hope that helps. Thank you for being here. I don't have Dan Barite, unfortunately. Grounding, rooting, speaking your truth. Gotcha. So I feel like we got, so grounding and rooting we have with hematite. I feel like we have speaking your truth, we definitely have with blue tiger eye. We definitely got the fertility stones. Expression of humor, helpful for that is definitely honey calcite, as well as carnelian helps with expression. Healing the inner child, rhodochrosite. This is the parent-child bond, mother bonding, so this will also help with your other intention, but it also helps with telepathy, connecting with deceased ancestors, deceased pets, as well as even asthma and stress headache. So I'm going to bring that in. But this can be a great one if you're working with like any kind of parental trauma or inner child stuff. So where should we, let's put this piece here. Yeah, I like that. It's a really beautiful stone, and I hope that that's helpful. And abundance, health, wealth, more. Awesome. COVID, definitely rutilated quartz, head cold relief. Yeah, Mercury retro protection. I usually use garnet for that, as well as black tourmaline. Because Capricorn and Mercury have a pretty good relationship, Capricorn, and I'm a Capricorn sun, we tend to have a less of an impact on us from things like Mercury retrograde. And if ever there was Capricorn embodied in a stone, it would be garnet. But it also helps with that organization, with being grounded, with being courageous, with being practical. So it gives us an extra oomph of the things that can be a little bit lacking. Black tourmaline too can be not only grounding and clearing, but just a lot of times there's a frenetic energy from everyone else who's not having things go right. Whether it's travel, because it is, whether it's electronics, because it is, all the different things that can go wrong. This helps to, it helps to kind of keep a lot of that frenetic energy at bay, so that you can kind of be a little bit more centered in yourself. So I hope that this is helpful too. So garnet and this. That's usually what I use for Mercury retrograde. So we'll bring you there. Whoop. And I'm glad you guys like the grid so far. Intention, taking charge of your life, taking action on your dreams despite any feelings of fear and the like. Garnet and polychrome jasper for sure helps you to like step into those dreams and make it happen. Also, I'm going to bring in some white coral because I know Cora Carr likes that, and this helps a lot with it. White coral is about staying on your soul's mission and not being discouraged or distracted or pulled off course. It helps keep you right onto like what you know in your internal North Star you need to do. So we'll bring that in. Whoops. There we go. That will definitely help. Yeah, the fear and stuff like that. This is optimism in times of change. This is strength in times of change. So yeah, that'll help. And the fear, definitely celestite, getting connection to the angelic realm. And just, you can ask them. Angels want to work with everybody. Just, I encourage you to ask them. And They really, in my experience, don't care what religion you are. So relate to them in any way that you want to, call upon them in any way that feels good to you. And they can help you with letting go of that fear as you move forward. Prosperity from job and healing in a relationship. Prosperity in the job, lapis, as well as tourmalinated quartz. And chevron amethyst, absolutely. Snowflake obsidian, Larimer. Gotcha. This is one that can definitely help too. So JS, what you were talking about with like stepping forward with your spiritual true purpose, Larimer is all about being a pioneer if you need to be, like following your spiritual true north and leading from your connection to spirit in the way that's most important to you, even if that doesn't look like anyone else's path. This one helps with finding your own confidence, but in a way that's very grounded and not just one that rests on ego, or it helps to keep the ego in check while you trust that sense of self, so you don't kind of get pulled off course. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to put these where the rutilated quartz are, down there. And we also have snowflake obsidian is helpful for shadow work, seeing what in us needs to kind of get broken up so that we can move through it. That's how I work with snowflake obsidian. I swear my stones run around at night. It's like they're all playing games over here and run into each other's little cubbies. But yeah, this helps us to, much like Numite, in that same concept of seeing light in the darkness, it really helps us to kind of light our way as we work through the challenges and patterns and traumas of past, so that we can better move forward in life. And it helps us to do that by being very supportive, but also very illuminating. So let's go ahead and bring this. Here and here. Sodalite will also go to support the sharing your creative expression that I saw. A helpful stone for the throat chakra that is a little bit lighter, or a lot bit lighter than blue tiger eye. It's still pretty powerful though. If you're going to be performing, leading, speaking in front of a group, or expressing yourself in a way that's artistic, orange stones to help with the sacral, and throat stones that are usually in the blues. I find that those tend to be a really good combo to help facilitate those. So part of true creativity comes from the sacral, but expressing it is in the throat. So both can be lovely. I'm going to go ahead and put these. Let's see. I think we're playing with a full deck here. I really do. Ooh, it's 5:08. We better get cooking. I think we're good. Oh, and let's see. Chevron amethyst, much the same that we discussed with Herkimer diamond, and this will be the last one. This is definitely tolerance of others. Sorry, just picking out the stones here. This can help with Korakar's intention of shamanic journey work and psychopomp work. Also along the lines of with blue sapphire, with helping to connect to spirit in a way that's very meaningful, and in Herkimer with being open to a two-way dialogue with spirit. sort of like, okay, universe, this is what I want or need. And the universe kind of giving you some feedback on it. Like, it's to your left, or think bigger, ask bigger, or are you sure you want that? This is a great stone to kind of have that feedback and dialogue both ways. So with that, I think we're good to go. And because of the time, I think we're good to go. So everybody go ahead, get nice and cozy. If you haven't clicked the like button, please consider doing so now. I'm going to very quickly explain what Reiki is all about. And after that, we're going to dive into the healing, where I turn the lights down and I turn the music up, and I just send the healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. So thank you so much for being here. If you would like to, while I share a little bit about what Reiki is to anyone who's new, consider dropping in a few things that you're grateful for in the chat, because that helps lift the energy of anything everywhere. And it can be anything. Grateful for your dog. I mean, who's not grateful for a dog? Grateful for, you've got electricity right now. So much of our country doesn't. Whatever the case might be, anything that you're grateful for at all, that will help lift the energy. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name is Danielle Stimpson, and I've been teaching Usui Reiki for about 14 years. If you want to learn more about my online Reiki classes, community Discord, social media, or crystal shop, all of that is linked in the description below. And today is the 28th of December, 2022. And today through the 5th of January, there is a coupon code in my crystal shop, which is Learn Reiki Philadelphia /shop, linked below. Coupon code to save 20% is year end. So go ahead and check that out. So Usui Reiki is named after this particular method's founder, Mikao Usui, and this particular style was founded in the early 1920s in Japan. It was meant to be a more secular practice, but yet very spiritual, and Mikao Usui himself had a very eclectic and diverse set of spiritual teachings. He was Japanese. He also studied esoteric Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, and a number of other things. But at the core of the practice of Reiki, the very understanding of what energy is comes from Shintoism, which is the indigenous spirituality of Japan, in which everything has a soul and everything is interconnected. In this interconnectedness, there are forces at play that support anyone and everyone in very varied ways. That particular frequency that we call Reiki translates to spiritually guided soul or life energy. And this energy is flowing through everyone. It's flowing through you, through me, through everyone and everything around us. Our body, mind, and spirit are working with it all the time to bring in the greatest balance in all of those ways that it can. Essentially, what I'll be doing today using Usui's method is connecting to this energy and directing more of it to you. Your body, mind, and spirit will be able to apply it in the best ways to support your highest good, and setting intentions around that is always extra helpful, but never entirely necessary. So if you have a special intention for your healing, at any point during the session, just go ahead, bring it to mind, take a deep breath, and let it go. The universe will absolutely hear you. On a regular basis, your body, mind, and spirit are utilizing this energy to help support your greater balance and healing. So during this particular session, it's not going to be so much a new feeling, but a much stronger feeling than any of these that you've felt before. You may experience physical sensations in the body. You may experience a shift in emotions or emotions rising up or being released. You may experience some of your, say, internal thoughts coming up for review or analysis, kind of like your subconscious speaking to you. You may have some intuitive wisdom come through, some whispers from your guides. You may also just feel deeply relaxed and take a beautiful nap. All of these are encouraged. It'll probably be some combination thereof. But during the session, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind silent. Just make yourself as comfortable as you reasonably can, laying down, sitting up, whatever feels right to you. And you can just be and breathe. If you feel like you want to combine this time with something else, like journaling, stretching, doing some yoga, playing some music, all of that's encouraged. Do whatever you feel is right for you in this moment and enjoy. I'll be sending this Reiki to you for about 25 minutes. And during that time, I will turn the lights down. You'll notice that they'll move slowly and evenly through several different colors, but at no point will they flash or strobe. And if you like the music, go ahead and check out that description box below. You'll find a link to the creator so you can learn more about her and check out her music on her YouTube channel. So if you have any questions or anything during the session, at the end, I will open up the chat and take any questions that you have, and also hold a space for you to share anything that feels important to share. If you think of something to ask afterwards, go right ahead and pop it in the comments or reach out to me on social media or the Discord, and I'll be more than happy to help you. And if you are watching this in the future, hello from the past, know that Reiki, because we're all interconnected, it doesn't matter where you are in relation to me in terms of miles or kilometers, nor does it matter in terms of time. So if you're enjoying this in the future, hello from the past. I hope you're doing well. This healing will reach you exactly where you are. If you're here now with us, know that you can always, if I'm not live, go ahead to any of our past streams. Go ahead and zip ahead either to when the lights shift, or you can click ahead a chapter and just spend some time getting some Reiki and just feeling better whenever it works for you. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure to share all of this healing space with you. I deeply appreciate you being here. Consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss an opportunity to heal with us. And you can learn more about me on my website, learnreikiphiladelphia.com. Thank you so much, and let's get into the healing. Thank you for the reminders on the like button, y'all. I love it. I love all of these grateful things. Thank you, everyone. So much love in the chat. Everybody go ahead and get cozy. I'm sure the kitties will join me at some point. I'm going to go ahead and set the music, set the lights, send to you, and I will see you all in about 25 minutes. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come back to the space that you're in. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to share, go ahead and enter it in the chat. Thank you, Heart. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, that was really powerful, wasn't it? You're very welcome, Jen. I'm glad you were here. Thank you, Bethany. It was great to see you. Key and Patty, exactly. Yeah, Highland Love, absolutely. Thank you, Blue Sky, and you're welcome. Key and Patty, good to see you both. You're welcome. You're welcome, Maria. Hope you all have a beautiful evening. I'll be back Friday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Oh yeah, there's one right here. There's a Hattie cat right here. Hey, you want to come up and say hi? Yeah, want to say hi? There you go. I know you just woke up. You're a good cat. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yep, they're around. You had a wonderful, yeah, her purring is something. Veronica, great to see you. You're welcome. Highland Love, I had a wonderful vision of lots of people who were very mad and just reached out and had a loving embrace. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, see you all on Friday. Until next time, indeed. I'm going to hop off and grab myself a bite to eat. I hope you all have a beautiful evening and a beautiful Thursday. I'm going to start working on my tarot readings for all 12 signs so that you have them all for the new year. And I'll see you all soon, okay? So take care and bye for now.